Hello, everyone. I hope you're having a good day. Today, we're going to look at Unit 18 of the A2 course, and we will be focusing on grammatically the present perfect tense. So, this is the second lesson dedicated to that. It's a difficult tense. This is a kind of big picture. It's not something that you will understand and use immediately, but we're going to practice. We're going to practice with some groups, practice repeating the structure so that you are helping yourself to code the structure into your English part of your brain so that automatically these sounds will guide you. So you're not really using your reasoning to structure the sentence, but rather the sound of the word, the sound of the words together. And it's a different approach. It's a very effective approach, but you have to repeat. You have to repeat many times. You have to practice saying it until you feel that the sounds are coming very naturally. Okay, we're going to start with the we'll start with the groups, and yes, we have 1 second. I just want to let's just pull this a little bit closer. 1 second. I see that there's a little bit of a, yeah, I think that's better now. We can see. Okay, so let's start with the first, just a little bit more. Okay, I think that gets everything on screen so that you can see. Okay. All right, we'll start with there we go. Okay, the first line, remember that you're listening to the phonetics first. The phonetics is exaggerated. This is the IPA symbols, and if you don't know these symbols, you should learn them. You can learn them in the class, the phonetics class. The lessons are online. I have a link below. Let's start with very slowly, and then we will read from the English in a normal way. Let's start with the first one. How long have you known Susan? How long have you known Susan? I've known her for a while. I've known her for a while. Do you know her husband? Do you know her husband? No, I've never met him. No, I've never met him. I won't be able. I won't be able to meet you this afternoon. To meet you this afternoon. But I should be able. But I should be able to see you tomorrow morning. to see you tomorrow morning. I've got to go to the bank today. I've got to go to the bank today. I've got to get some cash. I've got to get some cash. I've only got 2,000 in the bank. 2,000 in the bank. How long have you been married? How long have you been married? We've been married for 15 years. For 15 years. We met in the Bahamas. We met in the Bahamas. We got married in Moscow. We got married in Moscow. We've lived in Kenya. We've lived in Kenya since last year. Since last year. That's a nice cabin bag. That's a nice cabin bag. Is it new? Is it new? No, I've had it for a while. No, I've had it for a while. I've had it since Christmas. I've had it since Christmas. Speak, spoke, spoken. Speak, spoke, spoken. Write, wrote, written. Write, wrote, written. Saturday is written. Saturday is written with the capital S. With a capital S. Have we got time for a walk? Have we got time for a walk? Before lunch. Before lunch. Yes, it's only 11:30. Yes, it's only 11:30. Seesaw seen. Seesaw seen. Be was been. Be was been. I haven't seen you for ages. I haven't seen you for ages. How long has it been? How long has it been? Part 2. A couple of weeks. A couple of weeks. A couple of months. A couple of months. A couple of years. A couple of years. We can't afford. We can't afford to miss this opportunity. To miss this opportunity. I didn't know you spoke Russian. I didn't know you spoke Russian. I was having lunch. I was having lunch the other day in a restaurant near my office. In a restaurant near my office. The couple at the next table were eating their meal in silence. Were eating their meal in silence. After a while, the young man said, "What are you thinking about, darling? What are you thinking about, darling?" The girl stopped eating. The girl stopped eating and looked at him tenderly. And looked at him tenderly. "I was thinking, my dear. I was thinking, my dear, that silence must be a sign of love. That silence must be a sign of love. An attempted robbery at a local grocer's shop failed last night. One of the robbers was wearing a blonde wig. And a long white dress. The other was wearing a fancy dress costume. When the cashier saw them, she screamed so much that they ran away, leaving the money on the floor. In a blue plastic shopping bag. In a blue plastic shopping bag. Very good. Now, we have practiced once these groups. You should practice many times. Listen and repeat If you are traveling or you want to try to study while you're driving or while you're working, if you're on some kind of a job that you can listen to, you don't have to necessarily see. It's very important to listen and repeat. So you can do this without looking at the video. All right, now we're going to see the other part of the lesson. We'll look at the presentation. This is Unit 18 of the A2 level. Let's go directly to this. Look at the form of the present perfect. The form of the present perfect. And we'll start with, first of all, the simple form, the simple past, and the past participle, just to review some verbs. Okay, be, was, were, and been. Okay, the past participle is been, and this is the part that you will use for the present perfect. Know, knew, known. And this is how you should learn these words. You should try to learn them like a rhyme using all three, even if it's the past, like have, had, had. Repeat have, had, had. See, saw, seen. Teach, taught, taught. Listen to that sound. Taught. Live, lived, lived. Own, owned, owned. Work, worked, worked. Notice the t sound, okay? If you're not familiar with that, if you don't understand why, go back and look at the lessons about the simple past tense, regular verbs, to learn about the pronunciation. Touch, touched, touched. Again, we have t, touched. The form of the present perfect is have, has, plus the past participle. Irregular verbs have irregular past participles. The past participle of regular verbs is the same form as the simple past. Touch, touched. The third form is also touched. Okay, let's see some examples. Letter A. I have known Tom, I have known Tom for 5 years. B. She has had a bad cold for 3 days. C. They have lived here since 1994. D. We have owned our own cars, our own home since 1989. We can see the contractions. I've been here for 2 months. You've been here for 2 months. He's been here for 2 months. She's been here for 2 months. It's been here for 2 months. We've been here for 2 months. They've been here for 2 months. So the contracted forms are v for all of the forms except the third person singular, in which we use sh, he's, she's, it's. Compare. F. She's been here for 2 months. She has. She's been a nice colleague. She's here is she is. Okay, so we're contracting is just like has. You can do exercise 1 if you're in the Moodle course, the self-study course. Let's look at using never with the present perfect. I've never touched an elephant. B. Anna has never seen the Pacific Ocean. Never is frequently used with the present perfect. In A, the speaker is saying, from the beginning of my life to the present moment, I have never touched an elephant. In my entire life, since I was born, I have never touched an elephant. Now, this never is the existence or the non-existence of the experience. So if I am living, then I can use the present perfect to talk about experiences that have never happened. Okay, Anna has never seen. Tomorrow she may go and see the Pacific Ocean. This situation may change, but now up to this point in Anna's life, that is why we call this the present perfect, because it is present. It's up to the present. Okay, let's look at the questions and the negatives. A, have you lived here for a long time? B, has Ken been in this class since January? We have and has, which is the auxiliary, plus the subject. So we are inverting the subject and the auxiliary. Have or has plus the subject and plus the past participle. Now this relates to the acronym QASI, QASI, or ASI if it's not a question word. A is the auxiliary, in this case have or has. S is the subject. And instead of the infinitive, I, we have the past participle. But the position is the same. Okay, this is very small. I hope that you can see this. I haven't lived here for a long time. Ken hasn't been in the class since the beginning of the term. I don't know if I can go in on this one. Yeah, maybe this is a little bit better, a little easier to see, although I can't. I'm sorry, I just have to do it this way. Okay. Oh. All right, let's go to ever. Using ever with present perfect. Have you ever been in Hawaii? Has Pedro ever had a job in his lifetime? In A, ever means in your lifetime, from the moment you were born to the present moment. That is why we call this the present perfect. Questions with ever frequently use the present perfect. So just like never with the idea of the negative, we use ever very, very often with the present perfect. C, have you ever been in London? Yes, I have. I have been in London. In a short answer to a yes-no question with the present perfect, the helping verb have or has is used. D, has Tom ever lived in Chicago? B, yes, he has. He has lived in Chicago. Okay, so yes, I have. Yes, you have. Yes, he has. Yes, we have. So you're just using have, the auxiliary. C, have you ever been in Korea? No, I haven't. I haven't ever been in Korea. In E, speaker B is saying that he has been in London at some time in his lifetime. He's saying that he has never been in Korea. Sorry, that's not correct. Has Sue ever lived in Paris? No, she hasn't. She hasn't ever lived in Paris. Okay, she's saying that she has never been in Paris or lived in Paris in her lifetime. I haven't ever been in Korea. I've never been in Korea. G and H have the same meaning. Haven't ever been is the same as have never been. Okay? I haven't ever been, we're using a positive verb, a negative verb because we have not, and a positive adverb ever. Instead, in H, I've never been in Korea. In this case, the adverb is negative, so the verb is positive. I have been, I have never been. We have the same situation in I and G. She hasn't ever lived in Paris. She's never lived in Paris. Okay, hasn't ever lived is the same as has never lived. Okay, one has a positive verb and a negative adverb. One has a negative verb and the positive adverb, because we cannot use the double negative in English. We cannot say she hasn't never. That's a very common mistake. Be careful of that. Word order of adjectives. Okay, we have a large red car. Okay, it's written here incorrect. It's really not incorrect. It just sounds very, very strange if you say a red large car. Why? Because in English we have a very precise order, and you have to learn the order. Okay, we'll take it easy. We'll do a couple of ideas here. We won't really work with all of the different qualities of adjectives. Let's just look at the two adjectives, large and red. Okay, these words modify a noun, a car, so they are adjectives. Adjectives follow a particular order. In A, an adjective describing size comes before color. So size comes before color. Anytime that you are using two adjectives regarding the size and the color of an object, or of a person, or of a place, a small red apple, a small green apple. Okay, you're always going to use that word order. Let's look at some other examples. A beautiful young woman. The adjective beautiful expresses an opinion. Opinion adjectives usually come before all other adjectives. So, a beautiful young woman. Young is the age. A beautiful red car. Red is the color. A beautiful Greek island. Greek is a nationality. It's where something comes from. We could also say the origin of a place, of a thing. So, if you were to use three adjectives, then you have to really think, because you have to know a little bit more. Let's look at opinion adjectives. Dangerous, favorite, important, difficult, good, interesting, dirty, happy, strong, expensive, honest, wonderful. There are many opinion adjectives. All of these words, all of these adjectives are examples of common opinion adjectives. Okay, so beautiful Greek island. You would say also a beautiful large red car. Just for your curiosity, we know that opinion comes first. Okay, let's look at all of the different possibilities. This is the usual word order of adjectives. Now, don't get excited. You don't have to memorize this. It's very, very difficult. First, we said opinion. Then we saw that size comes before color. Well, age also comes before color. Then nationality, and then the material. Okay, it's very, very difficult that you would really memorize this. You just have to choose a couple of very, very good examples. Repeat those examples as much as you can, as many times as you can, so that the idea, the sound starts to come. This is a very good start. A large red car, a large red car, a small red car, a small blue car, a small blue toy, and you can just modify the adjective and it sounds like it's in the right place. Okay, let's look at some examples. Some delicious Mexican food. A small glass vase, or vase if you prefer. A kind old Chinese man. Okay, a noun is usually modified by only one or two adjectives, although sometimes there are three. Okay, so you really just have to think about the three. It's very rare to say something like a beautiful small old brown Greek metal coin. Even though those are all in order, it's just not very natural. It's not very common. And adjectives that describe nationalities are capitalized. I just want you to remember that. Korean, Venezuelan, Saudi Arabian, as we saw, Greek, Chinese, Mexican. Those are capitalized because they're nationalities. All right, you can do the exercise 4 if you're into that course. And let's now look at the present progressive. Let me just check this. This is a little bit hard to see, but maybe it's better if you look at it like this. Yeah. Okay. Present progressive, that happens right now. So, it's 10 o'clock now. Boris is sitting in class. Okay, the present progressive describes an activity in progress now at the moment of speaking. Here on the right, you can see Boris is sitting in class right now at 10 o'clock. You see, this is when he started. This is now what I'm saying when I'm speaking, and this is in the future. Okay, but the present perfect really only describes this moment now. We can't really think about the other two moments before and after. Right now is 10 o'clock. Boris began to sit before 10 o'clock. Sitting is in progress at 10 o'clock. Let's look at the past progressive. Okay, that was in progress yesterday, for example. It was 10 o'clock. Boris was sitting in class. Okay, now the past progressive describes an activity in progress at a particular time in the past. In B, here, Boris began to sit in class before 10 o'clock. You see, it's maybe a quarter to 10. Yesterday, at 10 o'clock yesterday, sitting in class was in progress. So I'm talking about this moment. It's very clear in the sentence that I'm talking about 10 o'clock. I'm not talking about a quarter to 10. I'm talking about 10 o'clock. At exactly 10:15, he was still sitting, but I am concerned with the 10 o'clock yesterday. So sitting was in progress. The present progressive form am, is, are plus the verb in ing. So it's 10 o'clock. I am sitting in class. Boris is sitting in class. We are sitting in class. So the forms of the present progressive and the past progressive consist of be plus the verb in the ing. The present progressive uses the present forms of am, is, and are. Okay? Those are the present forms. The past progressive uses the form of was and were plus the ing. Let's look at the present. The past progressive were, was, ing. It was 10 o'clock. Boris was sitting in class. We were sitting in class. Okay, so we're using these to talk about actions that are in progress or were in progress at a certain time, and that is the conclusion of the grammar. Okay, now you can listen to this again, you can look at the examples, repeat the examples, pause the player so that you can really consolidate the ideas of the verbs and the sounds, because we're really trying to understand better the sounds, and it's very important that you also translate. If you have the words below, you can copy and paste the words in the description below, and you can use that for translating. You can just copy and paste in Google Translate. Okay, I just wanted to show you. This is the page. It's the Moodle page. When you go to the website, and there's a link at the bottom of the page. There's a quick link here. The Moodle. This is the self-study course, and so we have some courses. Let's just look at one of the lessons here. Okay, if you want to do exercise 5 and 6, okay, that you see this is the A2 course lessons, and okay, I'll just go to unit. We're doing unit 18, so lesson 5, exercise 5 is here, and I'll just give you a preview just so you can see the kind of exercises that you will encounter in this. This is a paid part of the course, so complete the sentences using a progressive form of be plus sit. Okay, I am sitting in class right now. I was sitting in class yesterday too. Okay, you are sitting in class right now. You were sitting in class yesterday too. Tony is sitting in class right now. He was sitting in class yesterday too. Okay, we are sitting in class today, and we were sitting in class yesterday too. Rita is sitting in class now. She was sitting in class yesterday too. Rita and Tony are sitting in class today. Okay, I'm using the double T for sitting. Notice that. If you don't understand that, go back and look at the lesson about the adjectives with the doubling letter. That's also the simple past tense. Regular verbs, they double. They were sitting in class yesterday too, and you can check this for the answers. You'll see that they're all correct. Exercise 6 is like this. Use the parentheses to complete the sentences. Okay, you see the situation. Here is Paul. Here's 7 o'clock. 5 past 7, someone comes in the room. So Paul started eating dinner at 7. At 5 past 7, Mary came. So Paul was eating when Mary came at 7:05. Okay, it's very often that we use when with this combination of the past progressive and the simple past. Okay, here's another example. Bobby, it's 8 o'clock. Okay, here it's 8:30. Bobby was at home yesterday evening. His favorite program was on television last night. It started at 8. It ended at 9. At 8:30, his friend Kristen called. When Kristen called at 8:30 or 8:30, Bobby was watching. Okay, so I have the when again with the simple past and the past progressive. Okay, this is just to give you an idea of some of the exercises that you can do on that part of the channel. Okay, remember you can also go to the website and practice with the phonetics. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a nice day. I'll see you the next time, okay? Thank you.